We all looked forward to that game last night in the Europa League. Rangers against Ange Postecoglou's Tottenham. Ange, of course, going back to Ibrox. He was once there as a Celtic manager, so he got a fairly hot reception, but you could have predicted that. It turned out a 1-1 draw. In fact, Rangers could and should have won it right at the death. And I'm still getting messages on this morning. Where is it? Sir Rod Stewart. Morning, Jim. Superb Rangers last night, and this is from Celtic-loving Sir Rod Stewart. Congratulations, but I hope they don't play that well on Sunday. The League Cup final in Glasgow on Sunday, and it's another Old Firm affair. Celtic against Rangers on Sunday. But Rangers set themselves up brilliantly for this one on Sunday with a great performance last night. Energetic performance. They were hungry to win it. They just came up short, and it was a point apiece. This was Philippe Clement post-match.
I'm very proud about the performance because it's the way we want to see football being played. Also, if you see where this group of players is coming from scratch a few months ago and making performances like this now. So it's a big step forward. On the other side, I'm also disappointed that we didn't take the 3 points, or that we didn't grab it, or that they just saved at the end. So that would have been even better, and would have been the result that we deserve today with the performance that the players gave.
Alex, I'm happy that Clement's disappointed, because this was a shop window for Rangers last night, up against a top English club. It was the all-British affair. It was really a moment that you wanted Scotland and Rangers to come out of it looking good, and they did.
They did. Brilliant atmosphere, first and foremost. Postecoglou was anticipating a hot reception, and he got one. The producer has written in the script here, where's this type of effort and endeavour been all season from Rangers?
Yeah.
But they have tended to pull out a performance and a result when they need one, haven't they? I mean, their European form is very good. They're in the top 8 now in the Europa League. They've had some great results in that competition. I expected them to get something from the game last night. I didn't expect Tottenham to win. And I think we're going to see a similar type of fight from Rangers in this final on Sunday. So it's all set up for a brilliant afternoon.
It is indeed. Tottenham went there, and to be honest, there were a few eyebrows raised at some of the performances, individual performances that we saw, not least from Timo Werner. But are Tottenham fans, do you think, we'll get to that, we'll get to Ange in a second, Troy, but do you think Tottenham fans are growing tired of a lack of results, a lack of something to talk about in a positive sense?
Yeah, I think so. Excuse me. Yeah, I think so. I think we all are. We're all looking at Spurs and I can't quite work out what's the expectation, what are they trying to do, who are they? And I think the manager was absolutely spot on when with his indictment of Werner. Thought it was a bit cheap. We were talking about it off air. I thought it was a bit cheap though, just to go for him. I thought there was a few people that let themselves down, not only yesterday but over the last few weeks.
Yeah.
And then he needs to step up. But I felt as a manager that was a little bit of a dig at him, a cheap one to get just a little dig upstairs to go, this is what you've left me to work with and this is who you're trying to say we need to get over the line with. Also, I need some help moving forward, because to only make the subs he made and leave all the young lads on the bench, I thought was a bit poor as well. I thought if you're going to make a real statement, put some of these young lads in. Let's see what they can do. Give them an opportunity.
Let's get into that. Earlier in the week, Ange Postecoglou spoke about Romero, the Argentinian World Cup winner, who spoke to a Spanish outlet, Telemundo. And Romero had a bit of a dig at the Tottenham hierarchy for not investing like others have done in terms of player recruitment. And Ange kind of gave Romero a bit of a pass on that one.
He realises what he said. A lot of what he said was good. Some of what he said wasn't right and shouldn't be done in the public. I also believe that these things, we deal with them, within their own sort of four walls, because there's always issues and that we need to deal with. And the same way I wouldn't publicly criticise a player or anyone else, I don't think we should be doing that.
I wouldn't publicly criticise a player. I wouldn't be doing that. So he spoke about Werner last night.
He wasn't playing anywhere near the level he should. When you've got 18-year-olds, I think it's not acceptable to me. And I said that to Timo. He's a senior international. He's a German international. In the moment we're in right now, it's not like we've got many kind of options, that I need everyone sort of, you know, to at least be going out there, you know, trying to give the best of themselves. And his performance in the first half wasn't acceptable. Like I said, we just need everybody, including him, to be contributing, because we don't have the depth to sort of leave people out if they perform poorly. We need them to play their part. And like I said, especially the senior guys, when I'm asking younger guys to do massive jobs, I expect the level of performance from some of the senior guys, and today wasn't that.
So, Troy, he had a dig at Werner publicly when he said that it's a thing he doesn't do, criticise players in public. Having said that, is that not his prerogative? He's the boss.
Yeah, and also the two different scenarios. So what I think he's trying to say is that when people say things in the media, he can't really control that, and he's not going to basically add fuel to the fire and try and speak to somebody else's opinion and what he thinks and why they said it. I think he's absolutely spot on last night with Timo Werner. Like I said earlier, I think he's talking about younger players like Gray playing centre half, 18 years old. I think that's his first start of the season, if I'm right, for Spurs as well. In a huge game, difficult atmosphere.
First in that position, he's played a lot of the European games at fullback.
As a fullback. All right, so first start centre half, and then he's playing in that hostile atmosphere, and he's delivering. And then you're looking at your senior players, and Werner would be that, and going, that's the level that you're gonna offer on a regular basis, because he's been poor all season. Let's not make out like it was just yesterday.
But why single him out? You know, because he's not the only one. I think it's a cheap shot. I mean, should we talk about Son and his dramatic lack of form? Would he call him out in public?
No.
I think Werner's an easy target. He knows he's not particularly popular with the fans. He's going to win in some cheap reviews.
But also,
with them.
it's upstairs. Who brought him in?
Well, I'm sure Postecoglou had a say in that. He was quite wholesome in his praise of him when he was on loan last season, so he would have had a say in terms of making that signing more permanent.
Alex, there's Scott, a Tottenham fan. Jim, Ange didn't have a go at Werner. He was asked a question about why he took him off, and all he said was he wasn't good enough. Is that digging someone out?
No, it was the second time, because he was. I watched the full interview, so he was asked the question, and then the guy reporting said, "You seem a bit annoyed with that," and then he dug back into it. So he could have just went, no, it was all good, it's tactical. He made a purposely part on the second time to go back in on him.
Right, he's going to need Timo Werner, because it's a busy time of the season. Tottenham have got a crippling injury list.
Yeah,
he risks losing him now, doesn't he? With those comments, Troy.
Yeah, of course he does. And you risk losing some of the dressing room as well, because there'll be some people going like what you said. Well, what about Son? What about whoever? So it's always difficult. I just think when you are doing that, you got to know why you're doing it, and I would argue that he's probably got something in the back of his mind. He either wants him out or he wants somebody in January.
Tottenham fans, how are you feeling this morning? Because obviously mixed messages from Ange. One moment he says he doesn't dig players out in public, and then he had a ping at Timo Werner last night. But more importantly, where are you at right now? Tottenham have won just one of their last 8 games in all competitions. Surely that is not good enough. If you want to, give us a call. Troy and Alex are beside me. 03717 223344. And Rangers fans, what performance last night. There's Dan, a Rangers fan in Derby. Great performance last night. Great interview by Clement. That's more like it. Is it going to be enough to see you over the line against Celtic on Sunday at Hampden?
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.